Right, we are going to continue with the weekly All Signs love readings. We're on to Leo. That didn't work, did it? I got myself some really nice Hessian ribbon. So that's what's just knocked the Leo card on the floor. Okay. Let's get a bit of sage on the go. I've just been for a walk and I'm sure it's about to start raining now. Yes, it has. I'm so good at this. I always feel like so qualified as a British person when I can predict that it's about to rain. Come on. This is where I burn the carpet. I've got 3 burns on the carpet now. And I can tell that my room's been hoovered today, so, because loads of stuff's been moved around, so they'll have noticed. It's not good. That's just forced me to relax then, like inhaling that sage. You have to like consciously make yourself calm down these days, don't you? Okay, let's have a shuffle. I bought a load of rings, you know, when I was having like the Egyptian style setup, and I can't stand having them on. I've got to an age where I cannot stand wearing rings, especially in this heat. Oh no. I'm very sensory. Okay, so we're still using the Aura Tarot deck. Really, really nice cards. This one. We're on Leo. 2 more shuffles. Hopefully we didn't get anyone telling us off for doing tarot, telling us that we're the devil tonight. I'll tell them where to go. No, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna remove them. I'm not gonna talk to them. Hi, Legend. Why would it? What's a fake live? I don't understand what a fake live is. It's real. I'm talking to you now. Do you mean like when someone, is that like when you premiere a video or something? I think I know what you mean, I just don't know how people do it. Okay. What sign are you? Sorry, that was really noisy. They're my pots that I made in pottery class, so they have to be showcased. Okay, spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Leo's highest good. How is Leo feeling? Thanks. How is Leo feeling in this final week of June 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Leo, please. I've been making myself go for a walk, at least like a short walk every night, because my ankles are swelling up, you know, because I sit for hours to do the tarot and I stand for hours when I'm teaching. Circulation is not good. It's made such a difference. So I'm a bit hot now. 3 cards for Leo. How's Leo feeling, please? Ooh. Okay, so we've got the Temperance reversed and the 3 of Cups reversed. If they were upright, that would be like celebrations. 3 is a number of community. You see how they're raising the glasses? The cups are full of emotion, so it's happy times. Now, in a love reading, it can indicate a third party dynamic, because the 2 of Cups card is 2 people who've just newly fallen in love. The 3 of Cups is 1 too many. It's too many people. And then we've got the Temperance, which is the major arcana for Sagittarius. With this one, it's a lot of cups, isn't it? A lot of emotion. She's trying to find a balance between anger, sadness. You know, if that's reversed, then it's mood swings, right? We're not able to find a balance and manage our emotions, but I've done that thing where I discuss them loads and then I can't remember what position they're in. Were they upright or reversed? I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. Were these upright or reversed? I've done that thing where I discuss them too much. Hi, Monique. Well, I think they were reversed, actually. But the 3 of Cups, if that was reversed, it'd be like the end of a third-party dynamic. So if you were seeing someone who's married, okay, it would be the end of that. Or if you're married and someone, you know, was dealing with you outside of your marriage, it would be the end of that, and it would be causing us mixed emotions. Mood swings, you know. Hi, Anu. Hi, welcome in. I'm not doing any individual questions. You have to watch your sign, okay? You have to watch your sign or the sign of your person. Let's say they were reversed. I've just seen a hair bubble. I'm tying my hair up because I'm too hot. Sorry. One sec. I know I'm not doing individual questions. You have to watch your sign or your person's sign. We're currently on Leo. Okay, so we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Now that makes sense following a third party dynamic, because usually we just want what's fair, okay? 6 is an even number. We have 3 Pentacles from us, 3 from the other person. It's about fairness, equal give and take, you know, treating people the right way. You see that this person's being given coins. This person's being given coins. Everything's trying to be fair and equal. Coins are, pentacles are time, money, and energy. So particularly in third-party situationship, it's very, very difficult to get more time from that person if they're married, or very, very difficult for you to give more time if you're married. You're expected to be places, they're expected to be places. And when something's a secret, that makes it nigh on impossible, okay? So it doesn't always have to be literally, fairness with money. It can be investment of time, money, or energy. It can feel like, you're putting in more energy, that it means less to the other person. You're concerned about your housing and money, okay? Are you Leo? Two of Cups, here we go. Two people who have nearly fallen in love. Okay, if it was an established relationship, it would be more like the Six of Cups. If it was a marriage, it would be court cards, or the Lovers, or the Four of Wands. So this is very, very new. Two is the start of a cycle, the start of a new relationship where you just literally have just fallen for each other. And the good news is when it's upright, each person shares the same feelings. Let's get some cards for them, the one that's showing up for you. It could be someone that you're thinking about, or that you're currently dealing with, or someone that's coming in the future, someone that you're manifesting in. Right, they've got the Star reversed. Now, the Star is the major arcana for Aquarius, so you could be dealing with someone who has Aquarius in their chart, but you don't have to be. In the story of the major arcana, the Fool is healing at this point, okay? So after grief, loss, sadness, or regret, we tend to heal. So she's bathing herself in water, and when we do this, this is to cleanse ourselves, it's to purify ourselves, it's to rejuvenate us, re-energize us. Water's full of negative ions, so we need fresh water sources. And when we are baptized, if that's what we believe in, it's always in water. It's about renewal, recharging, recuperating, rejuvenation, purification. It's healing, yeah? So that's reversed though. It can also be wish fulfillment. You see the star there. Something that we really want, achieving or gaining something that we really, really want. It's unhappy, like either we haven't moved on from something and we haven't healed, or we don't have the thing that we dream about that hasn't been achieved yet. I'm not doing individual questions. You need to watch the sign of your person, or watch your sign, or both. So we've got the Five of Wands reversed. So that is, when it's upright, it's arguments or conflict. When you've got mixed emotions about something. So it could be in a conflict where in some ways you think something's good or you're excited, but then you could also be nervous, or you could have doubts. Or it could be literally conflict with other people, like external conflict. So people arguing, clashing over, opinions, too many cooks, too many people sticking their nose in. That's reversed. So it's like we're trying to avoid conflict. We're trying to avoid drama. Now it came out with, it was in combination with a load of cards that are in the challenge position. So let's have a look. I always read from the backs. We've got the King of Cups reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, the Ten of Swords reversed, the Emperor, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Wow, what is going on here? The King of Cups, when it's upright, is someone who's very stable. Someone who is very caring, very calm, very nurturing. You know, that water is managed very, very well. Their emotions are managed very well. They experience the same levels of stress as the rest of us, but you wouldn't know it. It's a very composed person, and they really try their best not to take things out on others. They're very forgiving. Anything that's very, very positive to do with emotion. Okay. When it's reversed, it could be those qualities accentuated in either direction. So it could be someone who's over emotional or under emotional. And I won't know until I look at the other cards. Okay, so the Eight of Swords reversed is a positive reversal, because when it's upright, that's someone who's all up in their head. They're having intrusive thoughts. They can't see a way out. You know, it's like mental imprisonment. They're not actually stuck. If they wanted to, they could wriggle themselves out of those bindings. They're quite loose. They could take off the blindfolds and they could just walk around those swords. But their thoughts are keeping them trapped. So the fact that that's reversed is better. That's better, okay? Just talking it through is making me think perhaps someone's gone less emotional about stuff and they've gone a bit more logical. And I'll tell you why. Because we've got a dropping of the burdens with the Ten of Swords reversed. If that was upright, we would be desperate. Look at this individual. They are stabbed over and over and over again. You couldn't get any more swords. It's just like from the, you know, from the foot up to the back of the neck and the head, there's just swords. And 10 is the end of a cycle. So we couldn't get any worse than that, really. So that could be betrayal, it could be fear, it could be pain, suffering, you know, really, really awful amount of worry, anxiety, pain, fear, sadness. When you turn that round, it's like, it's not just continued and reached as like the maximum. This is like, I am not doing this anymore. I am not suffering like this anymore. So you see how this, I think this is actually someone becoming less emotional and going more logical. Because then we've got the Emperor upright. And this Emperor is sitting in their power. They're not reversed. They're not weak. They're not overbearing. They're not losing it. You know, this is someone that is all in their power. And this is someone who is the four kings. They are the King of Cups, the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands. The Emperor is the highest status in the entire tarot deck, okay? Same as the Empress. They're equal to each other. It goes from pages to knights to court cards like kings and queens, and then you've got the Emperor and the Empress. This is someone very, very mature, very established, very capable. They have too many responsibilities to cope with drama. They're not going to tolerate it. Okay, they're just not going to. So you see how the swords have been pulled out of the back and thrown on the ground. We're not doing it anymore. We're not letting someone get to us. We're taking back control. The Nine of... Oh, yeah, this is making sense now. When I talk it out, it makes sense. The Nine of Pentacles upright is someone who is single. They can pay their own way. Sorry, I'm holding it a bit high there, aren't I? They're single, they're abundant, They can pay their own way. 9 is an independent number. It's like, I'm taking care of business and I can take care of me. I don't need anyone else. The 10 of Pentacles is when you put money together with someone else's money and you create lasting generational wealth. See, this is not a marriage. This is not a relationship. This is, I'm doing me and I can pay for myself. I can pay my own way. Okay. The 4 of Cups is, I don't want anything to do with anyone new. I am quite fine keeping the drama over there. Okay. So if someone presents a cup to this person, they're just going to push it away. Okay. It's like, I don't want to know. I am very, very happy like this. Just like this. Just me. See, that makes sense now, because that's avoiding drama, avoiding conflict. I'm going to keep it on the 9 of Pentacles vibe, okay? But this could be someone who's older than you. They could be someone who is newly divorced, because that's what this says to me. If you're an Emperor and you become the 9 of Pentacles, if you're an Emperor and you become the 9 of Pentacles, it's like going from being very, very like in charge of a lot of different responsibilities at home and at work to being single. And you're still like, you know, this person's earning well, but I don't think they're married anymore. I mean, if you were an Emperor and you were single, you'd have to own your own business. You'd have to be absolutely, you could have your own house still, paying your bills. You could have children. And you could be like the head of, you know, a company or organisation, or have multiple businesses. It's a very established situation, but this person's happy, you know, having things like this now. Something wasn't good before. So I think that Star card was them healing, and they weren't quite healed at that point. But you see that they've dropped the burdens now with the swords reversed. Tarot is like a Rubik's Cube, you know, you have to like kind of like mangle things. So it can seem like I'm going on for ages, but I don't just get like an essay printed off to me. I have to like fathom it out. Do you know what I mean? So we've got the 6 of Wands reversed. Now, the 6 of Wands upright is this person, if they're feeling celebrated, they're feeling accomplished, they're feeling, you know, noticed, like people are cheering them on, they're clapping, they're proud of them. You know, 6 of Wands is like, have a look at this. Like, I've just graduated, or I have just got a promotion, or I have just made the first year of profit with my business. You know, this is like, I am the shit kind of vibe. Like, and I've worked hard for it and I want to be noticed. So it could be in a work sense, a career sense, or it could be I'm getting lots of attention off someone new, or I'm feeling myself right now. Like, people, you know, are happy to spend time with me. They enjoy my company. They think I look good. I associate it more with success, because if you think about the 7 of Wands, that's like competitive vibe. Like, I want the high ground. I just think this person with that reverse, I think they miss like some sort of attention. Maybe they work really, really hard and then they come home and they don't have anyone to hug, you know? It could be that simple. Or they're really well thought of by lots of people around them, but they miss that romantic vibe where it makes them feel like they're really masculine and handsome, or they're really feminine and beautiful, you know? Or everyone wants to feel sexy, everyone wants to have reflected back to them that they're very attractive, you know, that they're good looking, that they've still got it. And you miss that sometimes when you're not involved with anyone. When you're in this 9 of Pentacles vibe, you might be doing fine in a material way, But then you start to feel a little bit like, well, I've got nothing going on in the love department or the sex department, you know? Because they're doing well financially, I think it's more like I want to feel like attractive, I want to feel noticed, I want attention. Ooh. That was good because it landed on my knee, so I didn't have to bend down and get it. Right, so we've got the Five of Swords reversed. So in the outcome, and the outcome cards could be you or them or both of you, we've got avoiding arguments. If it was upright, there's been crosswords spoken and everyone's upset, walking in different directions. Okay, and the swords was the words that were spoken, so it would be one person upsetting everyone else and then thinking, well, I got the last word. When that's reversed, it's like, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to bite my tongue because I don't want to upset anyone. Right, so on your side, you're showing up as the Three of Cups reversed, the Six of Pentacles upright, the Two of Cups. So you could have recently met someone and fallen in love, okay? And they feel the same. This person has got healing cards, they've got newly single, mature, but they don't feel recognized, they don't feel noticed, okay? And I think it's in a love sense. So that's really interesting. Are you dealing with an Aries? Because Aries is the Emperor. Are you dealing with a water sign? Because water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and we had a King of Cups reversed. Are you dealing with an Aquarius? Because we've got the Major for Aquarius. You don't have to be though. I don't get why there's the Two of Cups for you. It's as if like you're in love with someone, right? And this is a totally different person, because it just doesn't, they've just got like single independent vibes. But Two of Cups is when someone else feels the same exactly as what you do, like they're in love. So let's get two more for the outcome. I'm not doing personal questions. I'm sorry if that's disappointing, but I read for the zodiac signs, okay? So you have to watch your sign and watch your person's sign. We've got the Sun reversed, okay? So when the Sun card is upright, it's someone who's really carefree. It's someone who's really, well, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's a baby that's naked riding a horse bareback. So it's like they couldn't give a fuck about anything. They're just carefree. They've not got nothing on their minds that's worrying them. Just carefree, just happy, happy-go-lucky, you know, joyful. That came out reversed. So someone is burdened, okay, but they're trying to keep the peace. I don't think you're burdened, because your last two cards in this timeline were Six of Pentacles and then the Two of Cups. Prior to that, it had the end of a third party situation. Okay, you could be burdened if you felt like this Emperor didn't have enough time for you. They feel like they're not getting attention from you. They feel independent financially, but they don't feel like they're getting attention. Were you dealing with someone that was married or a single parent that's very like mature? We've got the Seven of Swords upright now, okay, in the outcome. So this is lying, cheating, stealing. See, that is that makes me think that there's definitely a third party situation. I think you might have been seeing someone who was married because they were showing up as a King of Cups and now they're the Emperor. Why would they feel like unnoticed when you've got the Two of Cups though? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. I'm just looking at the chat. Right, I'm going to clarify their side. Obviously, I'm reading for a lot of people here, so you'll know your own individual situation. Why did they have the King of Cups reversed? Why were their emotions cold? Okay, so they're worried about public image. It says other loves and self-righteous. Wow. Wow. So you were genuinely like in a third party situation with an emperor and they've just shrugged it off, like they've just gone completely cold. Yeah, well done for getting a restraining order because that sounds horrendous. Very, very dangerous person. Public image, they're worried about what people think. Okay, that's more important to them than anything. They've got other lovers still involved with the past, cheating, secret affections, self-righteous, acts spiritually superior, condescending, and preachy. Right, so they like having judgment on other people and then they're running around getting up to all sorts themselves. That happens all the time, doesn't it, with like politicians or famous people or so-called gurus of whatever, and then, you know, religious people, and then they're running around doing the most. And they, you know, they get blackmailed and stuff because they didn't want it coming out. Reciprocal lines. Navigate boundaries with grace, mastering the art of give and take in harmony. Okay, so there needs to be better boundaries here. Unless you've ended a third-party dynamic with an emperor and then met a new person because you want equal give and take, and that's why they're spitting their dummy out. That would kind of make more sense to me, because in the outcome we've got avoiding arguments, but we've got burden, and then we've got lying, cheating, stealing being like going on. So it could be that you're no longer with that person, that emperor. Burning evidence. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like they've just done a U-turn and they're just like, nope, that never happened. That never happened, didn't happen. I'm not like that. Recording, announcing, expressing, revealing, and truth. Well, it seems like they're hiding the tapes, they're burning the tapes, burning photos, deleting photos. Do you know what I mean? They're covering the tracks. That could be why they're worried about the Six of Wands, because they think their reputation's like being compromised. The more I try to hide my feelings, the more obvious they become. This person's like very concerned with what other people think, like enough to deny, you know, like actual love or very strong feelings, you know, like caring about someone. So we've done all them. It wouldn't make sense to get timing cards. Hang on, let's do another clarifier. I've got some more here. Oh, I'm glad it helped. That sounds horrendous, what you've been through. Gambling, problems with addiction or gambling about finances. Ooh, this person got a lot going on. I wasn't expecting that to come out because I'm just thinking they've got the Nine of Pentacles, haven't they? But what was in the other... What were the other cards that they had? They had the Four of Cups. You could have, well, it says bad with finances, addiction, gambling. It could be any of those, or you have a lot of outgoings because you've had to separate assets, you got to pay, custody, you got to put a deposit down, on a new place. You have a lot of outgoings when you separate from someone. But they could also be, you get people like accountants, don't you, gambling other people's money. You get people who are addicted to gambling. Make bad investments, overspending because you want to show off. You can have high earnings and have high debt, Let's get you some advice, Leo. Right, you've got a lot of advice from Spirit, okay? Breaking trail. A breakthrough is at hand. Okay, so there's about to be some transformation, some change, problems like obstacles are going to be removed. The truth is going to come out, something like this. Navigating by the stars, follow your bliss, okay? Dare to dream, dare to picture what you want your life to be like. Use your intuition, don't go too logical with everything. We have to be practical in this 3D world. You have to be careful with money and try to make educated moves. But we must allow ourselves to follow our bliss and dream. Okay, how depressing is a life where you're just giving up on like the things that you used to be excited about? Don't do that. First light, beginning a new cycle. Okay, that chapter's done. We're going to be moving into a brand new cycle, a brand new chapter. Mystic healer, healing energy flows through you. Okay. You are part of the universe, you're connected to it. If you want to feel grounded, go out in nature. If you want to feel like negative energy is dispelled from you, go to a sound bath, because they're run by beautiful people. Your only job is to lie down on a mat that you take, so it's your, safety, your little boundary. You lie down on it and they just move around you with Tibetan sound bowls, and you feel the vibrations pushing negative energy out of your body. It's a really magnificent experience. It's really, really cool. A sound bath. I actually had, I reached a higher state of awareness and had like hallucinations when I was Me and my friend did the first one I went to, and then the second one, unfortunately, was right before an interview, so I couldn't relax. That was a really bad idea. But the first one, I was able to like calm down, and I like visualized myself as a dolphin going through the sea. Um, that's it. The only other time I've hallucinated like that is during yoga in a hot yoga class. And I felt like I was an eagle, and everyone in the class was an eagle flapping their wings. I think that's so cool because it's one of these things you can't really explain, yet you know that it happened to you. Fellow travelers, support is all around you, okay? You have got someone in your life or multiple people in your life. They don't even have to be family, they could be fantastic friends or, you know, acquaintances that get you, that make you feel safe, that make you feel heard. They don't try to tell you how you're feeling. I have this amazing friend called Lauren, right? And I go to her house, I feel like I'm one of the family, and she just sort of guides me through. She doesn't talk over me. Um, it's not awkward. She somehow asks, she could be a therapist, I swear. She's a really good listener, but she'll sort of prompt little things out of you. But she's not trying to tell you how to feel or sway you in any way of thinking. She's just letting you express how you feel. Like you can just be. I don't even know how to articulate it. I wish I was like able. I think I can do that for people sometimes, but maybe I still offer judgment. But she's just really non-judgmental. It's really, really nice. Very, very grateful for even one person in my life like that, honestly, because it makes you feel like you're going home when you go to see someone like that. It's lovely. Right, so we've got fellow travellers, okay, you've got support all around you, and support doesn't just come in the form of humans, it comes in the form of animals. It comes to you by your angels and your guides. Don't forget your ancestors, people that have passed away, they can see the future and they're right by your side, they're over your shoulder. Although you can't see them, sometimes they'll send you signs, okay? But your spirit team isn't just made up of relatives that have passed away, it's just absolutely any higher being. And let's be honest, there's billions of them. So you're in good company because they're helping to bring things together in your external reality. Anything you ask for and you say, angels, please, you know, I want someone with these qualities. I want to feel this kind of way. I want to live that place. You can't force a particular person to be with you. That's the only thing you can't do, but you can say what you want out loud, okay? And your angels will be invited to help you. You are not alone whatsoever. Let's get some sacred geometry because I love sacred geometry. The universe is infinite, right? In sacred geometry, it's just infinite. There's no beginning and there's no end. Energy can't be created and it can't be destroyed. Okay, it just continues. It's continuous, and you are bang in the middle of that. So anytime you feel disconnected or lost, you just remember that you're right in the middle of all of that. You are part of the universe. You're part of the animal kingdom, and we get way too in our heads as humans. It's actually a fatal flaw, you know, because we agonize ourselves until we're just so distressed. It would be a blessing to be slightly simpler, I think, sometimes. Coherence. Okay, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Yeah, so your mind can be the master of you, and in a really, really bad way. You can get mentally entrapped, you can ruminate, you can get really way too in your head about stuff and not be able to sleep. So what we want to do is we want to bring everything very, very zen, very, very into one. So we do that with yoga, where you're being, put through a guided meditation. We can do that with sound baths, where we're being put through a guided meditation. See, sometimes I love a massage and I can get really, really relaxed. But if I've got something really burdensome, I feel like I need to be guided through some sort of meditation to stop myself from, if I'm really, really stressed, I'll still be thinking about all of that and be a bit uptight during the massage. So I think group things where you're being guided through by an expert is a really good option. See, you want to definitely consciously meditate. Also, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's an app called Budify. It's fantastic. That's guided meditations, and you do body scans, you lie on your bed when you're about to go to sleep, and you just consciously listen to the recordings. It's all recordings, and you choose, one according to how you're feeling, how long you want it to last. And it honestly works. It's really, really good. Belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Okay, so you have been perfectly designed exactly as you are, with all your flaws. Whatever you see as a flaw, someone else absolutely loves about you, physically, emotionally. If you've got a dead annoying laugh like me, someone loves that laugh. Someone's going to miss that laugh when you're gone. Oh, I made myself feel a bit sad. I don't know. It's just anything about your person, your talents, your characteristics. You can bet your bottom dollar that there's many people that will miss you, even if it's not because you've passed away, but you've just left a workplace, or, you're not in a relationship with that person anymore. They spend time thinking about you. Okay, there's many people that do that, and we don't kind of focus on that, do we, ever? Because we think that's very egotistical. It's not. That's just the truth. Okay, you have a lot of value. And in the future, you will continue to cross people's paths and make them very, very happy. And again, we don't like to compliment ourselves like that because we think it's egotistical, but it's not. It's just reality. Okay, it's just the truth. Solar plexus chakra. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Okay, so personal power is all about, I can have these terrible thoughts and say negative things to myself. I could think about things that people have said to me that are not very nice, or I could snap myself out of it. I can catastrophize and hate that I'm in a traffic jam, or I can sit there and think, I'll pop some music on, I'll put my favourite music on, I'll ring work and let them know that I could be late, and then I'll just let go of it. I'm not going to get more and more tense. I'm not going to get pissed off that someone's just overtaken me and stuck the foot down and forced me to move to another lane because they think they're more important. I'm going to let it go. And I'm not going to try and zoom up behind them or intimidate them back. I'm going to be the bigger person, because my personal power is how I respond to what other people do. Okay? I don't let them control what I feel like or how I act. I let it go because I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. And that's how powerful I am. Okay, you could apply that to anything. That's from a training, actually. It was behaviour management training when I worked in children's centres, and it was fantastic because you could apply that to anything, and I always think about it every day. Soul time. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge. One that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. I think that's lovely because sometimes you feel like your biological age is a ticking clock, don't you? And you think, oh, I've wasted all these years, you know, having this terrible experience with this narcissist, or I've wasted all these years working in a workplace that I can't stand, or I've gone all these years without fulfilling, you know, this life purpose or doing that dream, or I've had all these years being bullied, or so, you know, something that we put like time frames on everything because we know that we're mortal. But if you can understand that you exist infinitely and you'll have several lives, you know, it kind of takes the pressure off. It really, really does. Take the pressure off yourself, okay? You're a spiritual being having a human experience, you know? So this might be your human age, but it's just one life, okay? You're going to have many lives, and, you know, like energy can't be created, nor can it be destroyed. You are energy. You're carbon, everything in the universe is carbon, okay? And you have an ego death when you pass away, so you don't have the hang-ups that you had when you were mortal. There's something quite nice about knowing that. Anything that you were bothered about to do with the ego, like money or looks, you know, vanity, status, reputation, it all just goes out the window. It's not a thing anymore. And there's something quite nice and liberating about that. Something peaceful about it. Watch Tyler Henry, Hollywood psychic medium. Honestly, he's fantastic. He understands like the afterlife. Right, I'm going to see what animal you're showing up as. I've done a long ass reading for some reason. What's your spirit animal at the moment? Because it changes according to what we're going through. The hummingbird. Why have we got so many? The elephant. The black egg. The tiger. The oyster. The crow. Cosmic egg, my goodness. I quite like the idea of being a cosmic egg. That looks like there's so much going on within you, so much to offer. Look at the way that snake's guarding it. I'm going to have to let you look that one up. I'll look it up to see what it means because I didn't Google that one recently. The crow. Okay, so that's all about being intelligent, problem solving, thinking outside the box, thinking inside the box. Okay, don't underestimate your own intelligence because you are very, very intelligent right now. Oyster. Okay. So oysters contain something very beautiful, don't they? They contain a pearl. Anything that lives down in the sea is capable of thriving, okay, out of direct sunlight. Very high value. Tiger. I mean, the focus, the determination in the tiger, the piercing eyes, you know, the ability to be an apex predator and yet to exercise like massive control of energy. This is a powerhouse, this animal, but it's not running around using up the maximum power. You know, 99% of the time, probably 0.5% of the time, it uses that maximum power. The rest of the time, it lays down. The rest of the time, it prowls. Okay, so this is about lying low and conserving energy for when you need it, that one moment that you do. The black egg is when you're feeling a lot of feels, a lot of emotions, right, and you're not expressing them. So this is like, go and see that friend that makes you feel safe. Go and see that family member that makes you feel safe. Go to that place in nature that makes you feel calm. Hug that animal that makes you feel calm. Watch those videos of Leia the Otter or whoever. You know, babies that are super cute that just makes you think, oh, there's so much good in the world. But make sure you express how you're feeling, okay? Because this is when you're holding lots of thoughts and feelings and anxiety inside. You may be holding in things that you want as well, like things that are in your dreams, things that, you know, you fantasize about for a future for yourself, like express it all. Elephant. Okay, so, oh, you can also express yourself creatively as well, can't you? Elephant. Okay, so elephants, they're very big, very wise. They're herd animals. Okay, so they're not kind of, they're very protective of each other. They're very loyal. They will help other animals as well, for like different species, won't they? So I think there's something about guardians and not isolating yourself from others, because other people are part of your support system, your support network. And people enjoy to be supported by you as well. Okay. The hummingbird. Right, hummingbirds are busy all day, aren't they? They constantly hover because they have to extract nectar, and they're also pollinators. People go on about bumblebees and it makes me angry because many things are pollinators. Beetles are pollinators, birds. There's something else as well, like butterflies, things that, like, I don't know, there's so many different species that pollinate, and everyone goes on about the bees. It's like, come on. Have you not watched a nature documentary? Hummingbirds, yeah. I don't know. I think in some places of the world they're very, very common and in large groups, but not here, not in the UK. So I don't know if that's something to do with place or having an important function, a very important function, you know, in the ecosystem, in the grand scheme of work, of family, of your life's purpose. This was a really long one, but I'm not mad about it because I feel like sometimes that just has to happen. Sometimes it's needed. Okay, so if this resonates, if you found it helpful, please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. And you're welcome to watch any of the other signs as well. Remember, you know, you are entering a new cycle, okay? Things are going to get solved. Dare to dream about the future that you want for yourself. Support is all around, okay? Use that network that you've got around you. Tell yourself positive affirmations as well, like, I want success, I deserve success, and I will have success. I want love, I deserve love, and I will have love, because we get really, really good at getting down or losing hope. We're really good at that for some reason. It's like a flaw in the human mind. So we have to go the other way, and we consciously say positive things and we mean it, you know? Cognitive behavioural therapy is very important. If your thoughts are too intrusive, go to your GP, you know, because I'll tell you now, whatever you do lots of, your body and your brain will get better and better at it. So if you're a big worrier and you're very prone to worrying, you're best off going to your GP and getting that. As well as doing all the mindfulness and stuff, you need to be getting your sleep, and you need to be making sure that your brain isn't just too good at worrying, too good at having negative thoughts, because it does that. It gets better and better at it, and you're quite prone to it. Even if you stop for a while, it tends to start back up. Right, let's go on to Virgo, the maiden. There we go. I didn't want it to be wonky because Virgo's a perfectionist in the best possible way. I do worry about living up to Virgo's standards. Right, let's have a good shuffle. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Virgo's highest good. How is Virgo feeling in this final week of June 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Virgo's feeling, please. The 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the miser card. This is someone who's very much conserving wealth. Okay, so she's sitting herself down on the steps of the city, and she's like, I'm keeping a pentacle here, I'm keeping one here. She's putting them in the bank, right? They're savings, they're not spendings. It doesn't have to be money. It could be I'm conserving time, I'm conserving my energy. Because pentacles represent investment in general. So it could be like, do you know what? I'm going to just focus on myself. I've got a goal. I'm going to put money away for a house. I'm going to put money away for, I don't know, a relocation. Or I'm going to keep time for myself. I'm not going to spend it dating. I'm not going to spend it, I don't know, out with friends. It's like I need to conserve. I am in a conserving, miserly energy, okay? Maybe can't be asked with idiots for a while. Do you know what? The Temperance is coming out like no one's business this week. We've got the Temperance upright with the Five of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is positive, okay? If the Five of Pentacles was upright, it would be, I feel left out in the cold emotionally. I feel like I'm lacking good finances, or someone isn't giving me their time or their energy. It's nothing to do with that, okay? Because that's reversed. Maybe that's how you used to feel. You're balancing your emotions, okay? This is the major arcana for Sagittarius. She's pouring one cup into the other to get just the right amount. So we're not losing it and we're not having mood swings, okay? We are managing our emotions better now. And that's after conserving our time, money, and energy. So you could have had too many projects. You could have had too many different responsibilities, not enough boundaries before. You could have had someone that just doesn't appreciate how busy you are, taking that for granted, something like that. Now you're putting yourself first. You're saying no to some social things, or you're saying no, I can't do that on that date and work. You're creating boundaries and you're managing your emotions better. Maybe just not spend as much time, like socializing or something. And, you've decided your kids need to do more chores now that they're old or something like that. Okay, the Ace of Swords. So this is major clarity, major revelation, the truth, a confession. Okay, it could be any of those things. I think it's major revelation, major clarity. Because it just kind of looks like it's all about you at the moment. I'm not getting like Three of Swords with heartache or obsession with the devil or like someone being, lusty or anything. I just see you like keeping to yourself and conserving that energy, no drama. So the one that's coming up in your reading, okay, your person, the one you're thinking about or currently dealing with or manifesting in the future, they've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. When that's upright, that's like I'm single and I'm abundant. I've got enough money, time, and energy for myself. I'm having a great time just being me. The Ten of Pentacles is when you have lasting generational wealth because you're married and you're together with someone, you're living together and you have two salaries, two incomes, and you have enough money, for yourselves, but for your children and your children's children. See, this isn't like I want to be 10. This is like I'm happy being 9. Hi, welcome into the chat. That's up. Oh no, it was reversed, wasn't it? When it's reversed, it's like I don't want to be single anymore. I want to be 10 of Pentacles. I want to join forces. So this could be someone that's coming in the future. The Moon, okay, so that's the major arcana for Pisces. They could be a little bit afraid, a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive. This is water energy, okay, so this is emotions. In the story of the major arcana, the Fool realizes that he must walk forwards anyway, even when lots of things are unknown, okay? In the dark, we can't see everything. It's not illuminated. Lots of things are hidden. So we can get really fearful about that, like the first day in a new job. You get really nervous the day before, don't you? And you fight the feeling and you bite the bullet and you go in anyway. You get through it and you think, God, why did I put myself through all that? What was all that for? So just because it's dark doesn't mean there's someone out there trying to get you. It doesn't mean, that something terrible is going to happen. It could do. But what if it doesn't? So you have to just get on with it and walk forward anyway. That's what the Moon card is all about. Let's get one more for them. Yeah, I think this is someone who's single, but they actually would like to be in love. They'd like to be in a relationship. They're a little bit scared, but they're prepared to walk forwards anyway. The Three of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So the Seven of Pentacles is, what have I cultivated so far? What have I achieved? It's seven is a number of reflection. It's looking back at the past. Investments of time, money and energy into something in the past. The Three of Cups, okay, it's a number of community, 3. It's coming together, it's celebrating. It could be wider groups like friends, family. It could also be in a love reading, a third party situation, because the Two of Cups is when two people are in love. The Three of Cups is one too many, okay? So in the past, someone could have been involved in a third party dynamic, and, you know, they could have been the other man, the other woman, and they're a bit reflective about that, okay? Or they're reflective about the good times that they used to have when they were with a boyfriend or girlfriend and all their family, and, you know, you build up your network, don't you? Your network's twice as big. Sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not. But if you get on with everyone, it can be lovely. It can be a big loss when you lose that. They could be reflecting on, you know, just happy times with people generally from the past. I'm going to get a timing to see when this is coming in. Let's get 3 for the outcome first. Right, we've got the Lovers card, but it's reversed. So this is the major arcana for Gemini. Okay, it's the Lovers. So the Lovers are different to the Two of Cups, because the Two of Cups is when you meet someone and you are dating and you start to get feelings and you fall in love and they're in love as well. The Lovers card is more powerful than that, because this is two people who, when they were in the 5D, decided that they would agree to a soul contract, and say they're divinely guided towards each other. When it's upright, there's really, really strong love, like a really intense loving union, because you've known each other in other lives and you were supposed to fulfill the soul contract. It's a beautiful card, okay? It's really powerful. It's a major arcana. But when that's reversed, one person is in love and the other one isn't. So it's like, we thought that we had divine union, but it's not the case. That's in the outcome. So maybe that was the third party situation. Maybe in the past someone thought they had a divine, you know, soulmate, and it turned out not to be that. They had someone else as well. We've got the Chariot, a major arcana. So this is a vehicle. It represents movement. Movement towards success, movement towards, you know, getting something we're very determined to have. And it's upright. It's water energy. So, you know, the Emperor jumps into the Chariot because he must defend his kingdom, or he must battle to acquire more territory. There's something that we really, really want with the Chariot energy, and we are moving, we're on the move to get it and make sure that it becomes ours. If the Chariot was turned over, I'd say it's failure or loss or defeat at the last minute, but it's upright, okay? So we're headed towards like a win of some sort. With a lot of grim determination, okay? Right, we've got a King of Pentacles and a Six of Cups reversed. So you could have been dealing with an earth sign, or this could be you. You could be the King of Pentacles because you are Virgo, you are earth. And look, there was something where we thought we had a soulmate with the Six of Cups. This is a very like nostalgic energy. It's very sweet. It can be a brother and sister. On the illustration, because over many years, and this is what the cups represent, you know, we build such intense feelings, strong feelings, we care for each other, we're loyal. This is, you know, soulmates. 6 is a very nice balanced number. Cups are feelings and emotions. The 6 of Cups is, I have many memories with you. We have built up a lot of trust, a lot of love. I'd do anything for you. I hold you in the same regard as a family member. You're very special to me. Okay, so I'd expect this from people who are married or who have been together for years. That's reversed. So I think somebody thought that they had a soul tie, a soul bond, and it wasn't the case. Because that lovers is reversed, isn't it, as well? And this 6 of Cups is reversed. Let's see what was going on with them. Why have they got the 9 of Pentacles reversed and the 3 of Cups upright? I mean, you look very, very single. I think it's them that thought they were in love with someone and thought they had loyalty from someone. They thought it was going to be forever, you know? Oh my goodness me. I've just said that and then it says mirror. Reflects your own issues, like attracts like. Now, that doesn't have to be about you. It could be that they have attracted a person who's disloyal to them, and it's to do with their own issues. Maybe they've been disloyal to people in the past. Maybe they just didn't have enough boundaries, and so they attracted someone in, you know, or they've avoided commitment, or they're too... When I say don't have boundaries, when you're a bit desperate because you're sad to have like come out of a relationship that was really special, you get a bit depressed and then you kind of want a knight in shining armor or someone who's just going to be perfect, Little Miss Perfect, you know? And we kind of have rose-tinted glasses on because we're just happy to be crushing again, we're happy to be in love again, and then they've turned out to be a nightmare. They could have dropped a lot of boundaries and then got tricked by someone or something like that. Delicate balance. Strike a balance between freedom and commitment. Oh my gosh, how well does that go? If you can hear that laughter, that's my mum laughing at the telly in the background. Oh my goodness, keeping a secret. Oof, getting played. Manipulation, lies, control. I think, and I've done it myself, so it's no judgment, I think this person was really desperate to be in a union, and they've ended up with, like, you know, someone that's not a proper soulmate, like someone that's really low energy, like a cheater, a liar, a thief. They've attracted someone in because they were just way too like eager, and someone's gone, all right, you're perfect for the taking. And I think they've had a bad situation there. You can get love bombed, can't you, and all sorts. So you don't really know that the person's a jerk until a few months in, and then starts just being drama left, right, and centre, or stuff just doesn't add up. We're both waiting for the other to make the first move. So that's there could have been problems with communication, and this can happen when you have low boundaries and you're very vulnerable after your last relationship. It kind of gets used against you, or the other person wants you to just be happy all the time. They don't have to take care of your emotions. And so they explode because they're just kind of thinking about how they feel, especially if you're like dealing with someone who's a narcissist or a sociopath. They're just kind of pissed off that they're not getting what they want, and it's all about control. And so they'll probably emulate your emotions rather than respond to them in a healthy way. They'll mirror them back to you. And so arguments don't get sorted out, or fuel gets poured onto the fire. Hi, welcome in. I'm not doing individual questions just before anyone asks. I'm reading the sign, so you need to watch your sign or watch the sign of your person. Right, I said I was going to get a timing because I think that's all the mess that they had with the other person, and they've realised that it was false. Okay, it was a false flame. So when is the person coming in, the one that's showing up in Virgo's reading after they get rid of the nut job? September, around your birthday, Virgo. Little birthday romance. Autumn time is a really nice time of year, I think. I know it can be a bit hectic with like schools going back and stuff, but it's still warm, isn't it? You've had the summer and like everything's in full bloom. You get to like harvest time, that like you can start thinking towards autumn and conkers falling off the trees, autumn leaves being beautiful. I don't know, it's like that, like in the UK anyway, or Scandinavia, it starts to go a little bit cooler. You start to want to be a little bit cozier. It's a nice time of year. It's nice. I love, like going to a maze and like having pumpkins and treacle tart. Hot chocolate. Oh, I love autumn. It's really beautiful, actually, isn't it? Autumn, like fall. It's really, really nice. Let's get you some advice then, Virgo, because you're all kind of like keeping to yourself at the moment, and you're very controlled in your like how you spend your time, money, and energy. Wondrous universe, walking beauty. So there's lots of magic in this life, and tomorrow something could happen that just completely changes your course. Things happen that are really unexpected. You have lovely lucky things happen, things that you weren't looking for, that you never knew you wanted, and now you're obsessed with it. Like, there is miraculous stuff that happens in life, so allow it and take comfort in the fact that we don't need to know everything. We don't need to know everything. We just need to trust that there's lots of good stuff coming up ahead. That's nice, that. I like that. I did well with that one, didn't I? Let's get you some sacred geometry. I like watching Empress of Energy because I like her sass. I like watching Edgar Mendes. She recommended him, and he was the one that spoke to me, not me personally, but in a reading about sacred geometry. So he's like a really good reader as well. He's very different because he's clairvoyant as well as being claircognizant. He's clairvoyant, which is quite unusual. He sees entities around him. Okay. He gives a different kind of reading to anyone that I know. Like, it's really cool. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Wow. Divine feminine. I mean, look, don't you look so wholesome and so like Mother Earth? Okay, abundant, creative, productive. You are the divine feminine, okay? You are in your power. And you're about to meet a divine masculine, I believe, okay? On your birthday, around your birthday. Receptive, nurturing, and soft side. Allowing it to express itself openly, helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. I think you've been very well at preserving and conserving your energy, your time, your money. But I think while you're kind of not focused on love, you're gonna like look really, really good doing that. And you don't have to consciously like do anything. This is like yours. It's like a ball that spirit's throwing to you, and you're the only one that's like gonna catch it. Okay, like you can't miss. You're coming into your power, Virgo. You're going through an ascension, and you would benefit really, really well to read about the chakras, to read about your earth angels, your spirit guides. This is like such a nice book to go on about it, but it's Kevin Hunter. It's really cheap. It's probably like, I'm sure it was like $7.99 or less. Nice big text. Okay, it just explains stuff. I literally like had the most crazy experience on holiday after reading that. Go figure. Okay, so the more that you like explore your hobbies, your spirituality, the more that you relax, you start to soften up. You are hermit energy. Your major arcana is the hermit. I think you've been hermiting very well, and I think you're being gently encouraged to open up like a beautiful flower. This is something really, really good coming. But you can't do anything to kind of derail this or ruin it. So don't think that. Just enjoy the fact that it's going to happen. Okay, around September. I forgot to do one of these for their side. Sexuality. Someone is still figuring themselves out. They could have been with someone who's like, bisexual, or they're into something like eccentric or esoteric or a bit out there, or they're pansexual, so there's like less boundaries, there's less rules. Like, some people just see themselves as a sexual being drawn to other beings. Like, unfortunately, that I think that would make me quite paranoid, because not only are you then worrying about other people of the opposite sex, you're worried about people of the same sex, you're worried that You know, they're just too much of a fickle person, too much of a free spirit. They're non-traditional. I find it quite difficult, I think, to trust. Not necessarily that they were going to be loyal, like in terms of that they were going to cheat, but are they going to stay interested in me, or am I going to become boring? You know, maybe that's my own insecurities. I don't know. I've forgotten something, haven't I? Oh yeah, spirit animal. What spirit animal are you showing up as at the moment? And then I'll let you go. Or you can stay around and watch the sign that you cusp with, or their sign. Oops, I've just squashed one of my cards. That's not good. How weird was that, the way they came out? Crocodile. Crocodiles lurk beneath the surface of the water, don't they? You've been in hiding. So that's water energy. Crocodiles are so controlled, like they can literally hold their breath, can't they, like underwater for so long, and then this big snap. I think you've been incredibly patient. I think you're so like in the zone at the moment. The panther. Oh my goodness me. I mean, you know, panthers blend into the background incredibly well. They are apex predators. They're so strong, such strong animals. Like, both of these will like suffocate to kill, won't they? They'll suffocate the, like crocodiles drag people and things under the water. Panthers will like go for the windpipe. They're like, what do you call it? Oh my god, I can't think of the word. The jugular. Yeah, they go for the jugular. So I don't think you're like, I don't think you're going to waste your time on anyone. You know, like you're not going to get distracted by anyone who's not worth it. You're going to absolutely wait this out. And I think good luck to anyone who tries to mess with you. To be honest, I think you will. You know, that is like, get away from me, isn't it? It's like, F off, you know, to any jerks. I think you've got your boundaries well high, and I think you're waiting for your moment. You're an opportunist. And I think you're quite happy to be invisible until you think someone's come along that's actually worth, you know, coming out of your shell for, coming out of hermit energy for. You've got water energy and fire energy there. Very, very self-controlled, self-contained, capable. Really nice. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Take care, Virgo. If you liked the reading, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. Whoops, I've just knocked the tripod. I'm going to move on to Libra. I'm going to take my hair out now. Do you ever get like a bit of a headache when you've got a ponytail? Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Nearly forgot to change the card. Okay, on to Libra. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Libra's highest good. How is Libra feeling in this final week of June 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Libra's feeling, please. The Fool, the 4 of Wands, the 10 of Cups reversed and the 2 of Wands. That was starting out so well. What on earth? Okay, so very important first and last card here because I read like the back cards first. Now the Fool is, it's like a reset button, okay? That 0 is like, I've completed a cycle and I'm ready for a new one. The 4 of Wands represents a family home, a marriage, children, or very, very strong, relationship where you live together. It's about the home, okay? The 10 of Cups is family. 10 is, the end game. It's like, we're married, we've got children. Or we're married, we've got pets and we don't want kids or we can't have them. It's that whoever lives within a household being happy, each person has a cup that's filled with happiness. You see the children there because, tarot cards very traditional. But that was reversed, okay? So there's an unhappy household in the past, and now we've reached a fork in the road. But with the 2 of Wands, it's like I could take, the path that's A, or I could take the path that's B. So it's a choice that needs to be made now in terms of like direction. Which way am I going to go? I'm going to put my jumper on. Cold now. There we go. Oh, so much better. Right, another 2 for how Virgo's feeling. Okay, we've got the Lovers reversed with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man's upright. The Lovers, when that's upright, is two people that are divinely guided. You know, the angels are here. It's two people that love each other, but they feel like they've known each other a lifetime, and they have done. They've known each other in the 5D, where they agreed to have a soul contract, a soul union. They have a soul tie. Okay, so when the Lovers card is upright, each person is in love, okay? And they were supposed to be together. This was brought together by the universe. They agreed to it before they were human. That's reversed. Now, when the Lovers is reversed, it's unrequited love. One person's in love, the other one isn't. The Hanged Man is willing to see things from a different perspective, okay? So she turns herself upside down because she's choosing to stay suspended. She's choosing to think, do you know what? I'm going to look at this another way. Maybe this is, you know, right if it's sudden change, or maybe this is I don't know, it's open-mindedness, it's being willing to see things from another perspective, another point of view. If it was reversed, she would be stubborn. She's unwilling to see things from anyone else's point of view. She's unwilling to see things from a different perspective. Okay, so the fact that it's upright is positive. However, you know, that's unrequited love, but we're willing to see things from a different perspective and not be rash. We're trying to sit and not move and kind of like mull this over a little bit. We're willing to change how we're viewing the situation. We've got the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords upright. Now, the Queen of Swords can be a divorce card. Swords is air energy, and you're air, okay? Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy, this. It's the truth, it's facts, it's information, it's knowledge, it's communication. The Queen of Swords can be a divorce card. It can be like, I'm severing these ties, okay? The King of Cups is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. They don't have to be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but basically, when he's upright, his emotions are very balanced. The water's very calm. He's able to be forgiving. He's able to be nurturing. He's able to be patient, understanding, compassionate. When it's reversed, it could be someone who's over-emotional or under-emotional. They could be cold, or they could be having mood swings. It's like a crazy version of, you know, like what's emotionally balanced, it's emotionally imbalanced. Mood swings, anger, tears, depression, or it could be like, I'm unforgiving, I'm bitter, do you know what I mean? A lack of compassion, empathy. So I could read this as this is like your ex and this is you. Or you're being unemotional and severing the ties, and these are both you, okay? You're definitely leaving an old family dynamic behind because of that narrative that we had up here. So whether I say this is you or not, it means the same thing, because that's being practical and solution orientated. It's being intellectual. It's intellectualizing what is an emotional situation and just kind of cutting the crap, you know, with that sword, like laying down the law. Let's pull cards out for the one that's either on your mind that you're dealing with or manifesting in. The Ten of Wands reversed. See, the Ten of Wands, when it's upright, is someone that's been strong for too long, okay? And they're just going to keep powering through right to the bitter end. That every wand represents weight and burden and problems and challenges, okay? And they're just keeping more and more coming on the back, like, fine, what next? They've got used to battling, okay, and just grim determination. But 10 is the end of a cycle, so they're at the end of that. When it's reversed, you've chosen to drop the burdens. It's like I was carrying all these planks on my back, you know, like a martyr, like an absolute Trojan. And now I ain't doing it anymore. I'm not just completing the cycle, I'm not doing it. You know, and it's like just shrugging them off onto the floor and just dropping them. That's a conscious choice, that. This is like, no, I'm going to keep going, even like to the end, right? This is like, I'm near the end, but fuck that. Screw this. Like, I'm not doing it a second more. So there is a big difference, okay, when it's upright or reversed. Ace of Cups, okay? So the Ace of Cups is a huge cup of love, and that could be for ourselves, or it could be that we've fallen in love with another, okay? It doesn't mean the other person feels the same, but we've fallen in love with them. Again, it could be just self-love, like I'm exercising self-love. I feel like it's a self-love vibe because we've got this dropping of the burdens. I'm putting myself first. I'm healing. I'm, in love with my choice to just not give a crap about this anymore. Seven of Wands is competitive, okay? That's like determination. You see that he's got the high ground. He's higher up the hill, so he's able to aim down at them. This is someone who feels like they've got the advantage and they're willing to fight. It's a competitive energy, like I'm ready to compete. I think I could win. Someone's dropped the martyr act, okay, and they have recovered. They're putting their own happiness first. They're recovering, they're healing, and then they've become competitive and feisty again. The Nine of Pentacles is a single card. So you see that we've gone from the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles, which is like, I'm solo, I'm flying solo now, and I've got enough to take me over. I'm fine. I've got me in place, I can pay the bills, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to be with another person. So I'd say that this is the ex, and you are newly single and abundant. I think you finished it, okay? Because you've got that Queen of Swords there that's upright. The Queen of Cups, yeah. So we've got the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So both the King and the Queen are reversed. We've got masculine and feminine energy. This is two people that were in a union. Okay, that's just 100% confirmed now. So your ex is showing up in the reading. The Seven of Pentacles is reflective energy. It's looking back on the past. It's time, money and energy. How was it spent? Was it enough? Was it worth it? Maybe it was. Maybe you've got children out of this and that's, a blessing. It doesn't have to be a bad experience, does it, to come out of something? You can be grateful for what was built, for what was achieved, for the memories that were made, for the savings that were acquired, for the places you visited together, for having healthy, happy children, that are going to grow up to be fantastic, whether you're married or not anymore. Okay, so this is looking back at the past, taking stock, reflecting. Let's have a look at why they're feeling competitive and why they dropped the burdens. Because you know why you're feeling the way that you are. Escape. Love is an emotional escape for you. Be sure you are getting involved for the right reasons. Okay, so maybe they kind of put all the pressure on you to be the fixer, to be right all the time. Maybe they weren't living in reality when they came after you, or maybe they've been getting involved with new people lately, and fallen in love. However, they're still kind of wanting to, because we had that Ace of Cups, so that's an option, that's a possibility. They're still wanting to, joust, still wanting to be competitive, argumentative, despite having someone new. I don't know if they've got someone new, it's just potentially because of the Ace of Cups, but that would be more like Two of Cups, the start of a cycle. I think it's Ace of Cups, like they're trying to heal, exercise self-love, and then they might be placing blame and getting a bit competitive. And anyway, it says love is an escape for them. They may get involved with people for the wrong reasons, because it's a nice distraction, even though they know it's not right for them. We've all done a bit of that. Like, you might just think, well, I don't, they're very different to me, but I just want this for me right now. And do it anyway, Let's look at both sides of this, because it's in the challenge position. Masked realities. Beyond posing facades and cover-ups, dare to unveil the truth hidden beneath. Yes, they might have just thought, I want to get married, because if you get married, that's just what you do when people think you're normal and an upstanding member of society, and you have children, and that's just what you do. They could just be someone that's like, and this is my identity, this is me, and I'm set now. And then you're not really in love or whatever. Like, people go through the motions, don't they? Because they just think that's what you do. Or it shuts everyone up around them. Love's disguise. Go beyond superficial looks and see who they truly are. They may have thought, that you're very good looking, or, very confident or social, and that we sometimes we do that, don't we? When we pick someone, we really admire all the qualities in them, because maybe they've got kind of qualities we would like to have, but we just don't have them. So sometimes the very reasons that you pick people, they end up being the reasons that you separate in the end, because you just can't, they're so opposite to you. You can't, you end up kind of being really attracted to it in the beginning, then you end up being really put off by it. It's actually too far in the opposite direction. I hate nothing about you. They might put people on a pedestal. They may put you on a pedestal. You know? I really thought you'd always be here. This person's really, really struggling to move on. They're deep in reflection. If they argue, it's because they're hurt. And they may not be willing to admit that it just is, you know, time to like move on. Or that you never should have been together. It may just like not be comfortable for them to access that, you know, and you might just have to avoid conversations like that while they're still processing this. Pets, getting a new pet, giving a current pet more love. See, if you swap pets for like a relationship, like a new partner, someone that you're dating, or in a relationship with, getting a new pet or giving a current pet more love. It did say that they were dropping the burdens, then with the Ace of Cups and then the Seven of Wands. They might be getting back up on their feet again and, you know, back in the saddle. They may start dating again soon. In the immediate future, in fact. Let's get you some advice, Libra. Wondrous universe, walk in beauty. That's really nice. I just feel like there's so much to be grateful for and there's so many good things coming towards you, like you've got no idea. First light, beginning a new cycle. Obstacles are going to move out of your way, and it's probably because this person's like a bit closer to moving on. Because that like Seven of Wands could be competitive, or it could be like they're gathering energy again to sort of, you know, stand up for themselves, to put their keys in the hat and start dating again. Like they're just recovering, they're regalvanizing after a period of self-love. Because of that drop in the burdens, yeah, they could just be getting more like the fire energy back, and therefore it makes things a bit easier for you, doesn't it? Gets them off your back. Let's get sacred geometry. Oh, what's this? Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Ooh, like an optical illusion. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Yeah, it's like seeing things the right way for the first time, isn't it? Like revelations, sudden clarity, realization, coming to terms with the fact that something's done. The mist clearing, the fog clearing, yeah. Seeing things in a totally different way. just because that's what we do, like, the next day for some reason. Like, you're like, yeah, I can see their point, or okay, yeah, fine. You know, like, sometimes, like, the difference a day makes is just insane, isn't it? Right, let's see how you're showing up. What's your spirit animal at the moment? Black egg. This is you at the moment, look. Black egg is like, I'm not communicating how I'm feeling to the outside world. I've got all these mixed up emotions and I'm holding them in darkness. Okay, we need to stop suppressing them, we need to let them out. Even if you're just thinking through what's going on, even if you're expressing sadness at how things have gone, if you're expressing delight at getting divorced or separated, if you are tense, you know, just express it. Make sure you express yourself, Libra, okay? Because you are a bit of a people pleaser. You do want balance, you want fairness, you don't like drama. But it's okay to just talk about how you're feeling. It's okay to just say, I feel like this today, or I feel like that today. That's okay. It's okay to express yourself via creativity, or literally say it aloud. It's fine, you know? Don't hold anything in. Okay, if you liked this reading, if it resonates, please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. You're welcome to stick around for Scorpio if you're a cusper or you're dealing with a Scorpio. Otherwise, I will see you soon. I feel like I need a hot bath, which is weird because I spent most of the day feeling like I'm too hot, but I feel a bit stiff. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you. Right, we'll have some shuffles. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Scorpio's highest good. How is Scorpio feeling in this final week of June 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards how Scorpio's feeling, please. the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is an urgent message, okay? So you could be delivering an urgent message just when you could have something that you really need to get off your chest, and it could be good or bad. Okay, this is very hasty. That horse is like at full pelt. You know, rocks flying. If you notice, this person's got their armor on and the sword is raised, so it could be more of a like aggressive, no nonsense, hasty message. The Tower. Are you breaking up with someone? Are you leaving a workplace? Are you announcing that you're pregnant? Or I don't know. The Tower is major change. It's Aries fire energy, okay? So it's the landscape of your life changing. Tower moments can be caused by you. They can be caused by another person, or they can be brought in by the universe. Because you're delivering an urgent message, I think you're causing this tower. When the tower comes down, it's replaced by a stronger tower, one without weaknesses, one with, you know, improved stone, improved cement. What it, you know, pulls down, okay, it's okay because it gets replaced with something much better. So towers shouldn't be fought, okay? We have to go with it. It's irreversible change. I mean, examples of towers is you breaking up with someone, you announcing that you're relocating. That would be a tower moment for the people that love and care about you. So you have to understand, like, how you affect other people, okay? You could be announcing that you're pregnant. Towers don't have to be bad. They can be really, really good, but it's major, major change. It's overwhelming, okay? Okay, we've got the Two of Cups. You could be telling someone that you're in love, okay? Or you could be telling someone like that you've just recently fallen in love with and they're in love with you, that you're struggling with something right now, that something's a problem, or this has been a long time coming, or you love them but it's difficult to be with them. I don't know, because why have we got this Nine of Wands? This is the wounded warrior, so it's someone who's prepared to keep going, okay? It's not the completion of a cycle. It's someone who is, you know, like, fine, you want to give me another challenge, give me another one. I want to keep going with this. Two of Cups is new love. It's like you've recently started dating and you are infatuated. You've just fallen in love with each other. It's at the beginning, you know, 2 runs up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 is just right at the beginning. It's when you first meet someone, you first fall in love. But the Nine of Wands is like, this is a struggle. There's been lots of battles, lots of challenges, lots of blocks, delays, obstacles. I mean, you'll know what that's about, okay? You know your life and how you're feeling. Let's get cards for the one that you are dealing with, the one that's on your mind. I'm definitely in love with someone. For goodness sake, the Temperance is like coming out every reading for every zodiac sign. We've got Sagittarius, Major Arcana, and Pisces, Major Arcana. The Temperance is like a need to balance emotions, trying to avoid mood swings, we're trying to avoid anger, upset. But it's reversed, so we're not able to do that. Or this person that I'm reading for, that's showing up for you, is unable to manage their emotions. They're very fearful about the future with that moon reversed. The moon upright, you know, we realise that it's a bit scary. Things are not illuminated, it's dark, we don't know what's ahead of us, but we must walk forwards anyway. Fear cannot stop us, okay? We must not allow that. When it's reversed, it's like, I'm so full of fear and dread. You know, what's going to happen? It's like catastrophizing. And the emotions are just all out of whack. So, someone's all out of whack. And you're delivering an urgent message. They're terrified. There's a tower. And then we've got this like new love and the wounded warrior, someone that's prepared to keep going. What else is coming out for them? Because they're going absolutely white off this. Ooh, the Four of Wands reversed. That's not good. With the High Priestess reversed. Hi Angela, hi Zara, hi Freety. Okay, see the Four of Wands reversed is a lack of stability. You know, like this upright is like a very stable number. Four is the four legs to a chair, the four walls to a house. It's rock solid, it's stable. But when that's reversed, and it's the 1111 card, so it's like marriage or strong, exclusive relationship that everyone in the town knows about. You know, you're living together, it's just out there, it's pure, it's stable. When it's reversed, it's like instability within the home. The High Priestess is Pisces energy. It's like following your intuition, trusting in the divine plan, trusting the universe is doing its thing on purpose, you know, and we've got to let the story unfold. That's like, I've lost faith. I've lost like trust in the universe because of all this instability. And that's happening at the same place as this tower, okay, that you've kind of delivered to them. So I think you are letting them know that something's been a struggle lately, to do with this new relationship, this new the Queen of Swords reversed. The Queen of Swords upright is air, it's air energy. It's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. It's swords of truth, honor, dignity, communication, justice. It's working with the facts. It's going logical. It's being intelligent, strategic. Thinking, you know, thinking things out rather than going with the heart. It's mind over matter. The Queen of Swords reversed is communication accentuated in either direction. So it could be blocking someone, or it could be, you know, bombarding them with information, knowledge, manipulating them. When you wield a sword in the wrong way, it cuts deep, okay? So you could say nasty things, or you could stop talking to someone completely, you know, and that would be hurtful. It could be telling lies, being manipulative. Because when this kind of intelligence is used in the wrong way, that could be, you know, quite dangerous, couldn't it? It's a very intelligent person. Air energy is all about thoughts, facts, knowledge, intellectualizing, using the brain. Everything's a chess game with people like this. Like, they've well been thinking about that. By the time you know about it, they've had 7 months thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? Very, very strategic. With it being reversed, yeah, it's that like manipulative sort of like blocking or manipulative energy. You're saying things to play it a kind of way, like a chess game. I think you're communicating, Scorpio. I think you're communicating with this person. You're delivering some sort of tower, some sort of major change with regards to this new love, and they really do not like it. It's making them really scared. They feel really like unstable, insecure. They may spy on you, they may try to gather information, just figure out what on earth this is about, where it's coming from. Let's get 3 for the outcome. Page of Cups is an apology. It can be an expression of any kind of emotion, but you tend to see it as an apology. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. Okay. Someone's had the wind put up them and they're panicking and they're promising to apologise and do right, to make things fair and equal and balanced in terms of time, money and energy. They're very restless about this. It's very important to them. Sorry, I've just wobbled the tripod. This is like, I cannot relax. This is like, I'm putting the swords down. I'm not communicating, I'm meditating now. And I'm just going to like, let the weight of the stone support me. I'm going to think this through. She looks like Joan of Arc, doesn't she? She looks really cool because she's got like armor on. But she's putting the swords down. Okay, so she's not battling. She's taking much needed rest, but to meditate, like mull this over. This is someone that can't relax. They're restless, okay? And that's how it came out in the outcome. So this is very like much, whatever you're going to say this week is really going to rock this person's world in a terrifying way. You know, they're absolutely shitting themselves. Like, they've lost total faith that everything's going to be fine. They are terrified about what's ahead. You know, they just feel like they just lost everything. Their living situation, and they may start spying. They may, you know, look through your things. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but it's just this kind of energy can be manipulative or blocking or trying to like twist the truth or tell lies, or I don't know. It's something like it's better when it's upright, to be honest. This is like, I'm going to use my intelligence against you. I'm going to communicate in a way that's aggressive, or I'm going to block you, or I'm going to like twist things and like use my silver tongue to like get around you. But then they like, I think there's an apology, and then there's like, you know, I want fairness, and then there's contemplation over this, like with a kind of restlessness, like, oh my goodness, you know, like I nearly just lost everything. So if you're giving someone what for this week, it works. Basically, it works. Like, With Scorpios, you're very possessive, you're very emotional, people are very, very important to you. So be advised that if you are having to communicate strong words to someone, it's necessary, okay? It's necessary, so don't feel bad about advocating for yourself. You can, like, really, like, throw hissy fits though, so you may have to, like, backtrack or something. I don't know who the apology is from, whether it's you or them. It's because you care. Right, 4 of Wands reversed. Why have they got the 4 of Wands reversed? Why have they got the Moon reversed? Why are they scared shitless? Let's see what it says. Self-righteous, acts spiritually superior, condescending, and preachy. Oh my goodness. You could have, like, been really offended by something that this person said. You could have felt really, like, you know, like they're speaking out of turn. Or they may feel like you are giving them what for. Mapping the way, explore love and unearth unexpected treasures. Unexpected joys, life surprises and gifts, opening doors to unforeseen adventures. I mean, I read both of them just in case I'd got it the wrong way up, but they kind of mean the same thing. It's just like, that's both of those are talking about, like, things coming in that we didn't anticipate, we didn't expect. You know, and it's joyful, so not sure about that one. How that fits in, like putting on a show. Do you think that means, like, someone's just, like, gloating a bit too much? They're like a blabbermouth, or, you know, they're trying to impress people. It doesn't necessarily kind of give me, like, you know, a seductive vibe, like a sexy vibe, like they're trying to attract other people, but they may have just thought, you know, when someone just isn't modest and you're like, oh my God, you're being egotistical, or you're being, like, embarrassing. I mean, people boast when they're insecure, or they're attention seeking because they're a bit lonely, or they miss, kind of, I don't know. I've got a boy in my class, he's really attention seeking, and I didn't realise, I just found out the other day that he doesn't have a dad anymore. His dad passed away, and I think that's why he always wants to be the centre of attention. I get really angry with him sometimes. And then it just came out through, like, an activity we were doing. We were talking about empathy, and if you ever lost someone, or, as you know, something happened to someone else, and then you knew how it felt because it happened to you. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what is it? And he was like, I lost my dad. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, you're just like, shit, I didn't mean to unearth, like, stuff like that. Oh, you are the one regret I can't let go of. I think they apologise. I think they apologise. Narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. Okay, that's your advice. Oh my goodness, we've got a lot of sacred geometry here. Let's have a look. So many. Right, Earth. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. That's nice. You may be like noticing things in the next week or two that, you know, like when you stop to smell the flowers and you just, things catch your eye and you feel like sudden gratitude for very, very simple things in nature. Like I walked past a gorgeous rose today and I was just so grateful for it. I don't often like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting to feel like that. Fertility. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Okay, so you could be evolving, you could be ascending, you could be, you know, feeling like full of gratitude, raising your vibration, you get more problem solving ability, more creative, more productive. You know, you could feel surrounded and just filled with abundance, you know, really, really nice. Conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intentions. Okay, so conception, to conceive of an idea, a thought. The place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential. There's infinite potential here. Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? The sacral chakra, okay, so focusing on between the hips. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance into our lives. See, when you sort out the root chakra at the base of the spine, you know, that's dealing with the fight or flight. Feelings like when you have enough money or you feel like a bit more secure in your relationship, a bit more secure financially, you feel more sexy, don't you? Feel more abundant, and then you sort of want to nest, and then, you know, babies arrive, and it's just, that's what the sacral chakra is all about. It's about creativity, productivity, sensuality, sexuality. It happens after feeling secure. Miracle. The frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as a part of Source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. That is so nice. Macabre. The frequency of macabre supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experience into our present to serve our highest purpose. Wow. traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. That is so sick, isn't it? Realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. The internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. There's big stuff going on with you, isn't there, Scorpio? Traversing other dimensions, ascending, looking down on the rest of us. You got it all going on, haven't you? Look at all of that. Oh my goodness. Conception, manifesting, fertility, earth, realization, miracle, macabre. Wow. Right, I hope this resonates for you. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please like, please share, subscribe, follow, give me a repost, support the channel. And I will see you in the next one, Scorpio. Time for a bath and bed for me. A baby mama. No, I don't have children. I'm not a baby mama, no. I'm like the old woman that lived in a shoe because I look after a lot of children. I used to be more so like that when I worked with early years. Oh, thank you, Angela. You're Aquarius, are you? Or you liked the Aquarius reading? Yeah, so I used to literally have to dress the children and like sit them on the toilet train them, help them to eat. I had to do everything for them, chase them around, pretend to be a zombie teacher. That's an essential part of the job role. And so I did everything for them. I'd put them to sleep. I'd do everything for them. So I was literally a mum to like 30 kids. But I loved it. It's exhausting, but I loved it. So I feel like I've actually raised, like I did that for a few years. I feel like I've raised many children, to be honest. The teenagers, you're not raising them, but you're trying to, well, you do it on a smaller level. I can try to affect how they think and feel, but they're so influenced by their own ego, by social media, by their parents. You can definitely affect your own children, like they're terrified what their parents think. I've made a few phone calls home tonight. Got some people grounded. Oh my god, I'm ridiculous. I didn't see what spirit animal you're showing up as. I think I got distracted because there were so many sacred geometry cards. Otter, oh cute. I keep watching videos of Leia the otter in Sweden on TikTok. Oh my god, so relaxing, honestly. Trust me. The guy literally found this otter that didn't have a mother. I think the mother had been hit by a car or something because it was a woods But yeah, she was just like orphaned. So like he hasn't tried to make her his or dress her up in clothes or do anything ridiculous. She lives in the woods, but she visits him because he's got like a cabin in the woods. And it's so sweet, like he kayaks around and this otter goes and catches like crabs or crayfish or something at the bottom of the water, comes up and carries them in her mouth, gets into the kayak with him and eats them. And she's gone for a few days and she just turns up and like she even goes into his house, but like he doesn't try to, you know, keep her as a pet or anything. Like she's just free, but she just enjoys to turn up and see him. It's so nice. And he puts like really relaxing, like meditative music on, really like ethereal music over these videos. And it's beautiful, this place in the woods in Sweden. Like the sun's rise, it must be like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. It's literally therapy. Oh my God. Anyway, otters are so happy, carefree. They turn around in the water. They are like water babies, okay? They're very light on their feet. They're very they're sort of quite snaky how they move. They're like snakes, like water snakes, and I really like the nature of an otter actually. They're chirpy, gentle, busy, but they're mostly playful. They're just really, really playful. So I don't know why you're showing up like that, really. Like, it's a really nice energy. I think there's a very playful nature to you. It's how you're showing up, but maybe there's a youthfulness in that because when I go swimming, you know, I feel like a baby. I feel like carefree. I feel physically light. Gravity pulls you down. It makes you tired throughout the day. It makes everything go south, doesn't it? And you just feel exhausted. But when you get into water and the water supports you and you can turn and move and it doesn't matter what you weigh, makes you strong. But it's just, you can have so much fun in the water, like do somersaults and do things you couldn't normally do. So I think otters are really, really good at, they seem to get along with everything in the woods. They're very much in harmony. And yeah, when they move into the water, they're really, really playful. And I just, maybe there's something about being naive, carefree, childlike, returning into that state, or being able to return into that state. Maybe this is just like a lovely aspect of your personality at the moment. Yeah. Okay, I hope that resonates. I hope you like it. Please take care. Have a lovely rest of your night and a good sleep. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for the lovely comments as well.